What is the Great Enlightening Being's unimpeded wheel concentration? When Great Enlightening Beings enter this concentration, they abide in unobstructed physical, verbal, and mental action, live in Buddha lands free from obstruction, attain unobstructed knowledge of how to develop and perfect beings, acquire unobstructed knowledge of how to tame beings, radiate unobstructed light, cause networks of unobstructed light beams to appear, demonstrate unobstructed miracles on a vast scale, turn the unobstructed wheel of the pure teaching, and attain the unobstructed freedom of enlightening beings. They enter into the powers of Buddhas, abide in the knowledges of Buddhas, perform the deeds of Buddhas, purify what Buddhas purify, manifest the spiritual powers of Buddhas, gladden the Buddhas, carry out actions of Buddhas, abide in the path of Buddhas, associate with innumerable Buddhas, perform the works of Buddhas, and succeed to the lineage of Buddhas. Once Great Enlightening Beings are in this concentration, they investigate omniscience, contemplating it in general and in particulars. They accord with omniscience, reveal omniscience, concentrate on omniscience, see omniscience as a whole, and see omniscience in particulars. They forever advance and constantly continue the great vow, great will, great practice, great aim, great experience, great light, great manifestation, great care, great miracle, and great path of the universally good enlightening being, without interruption, without retreating, without stopping, without changing, without wearying, without giving up, without distraction, without confusion. Why? These great enlightening beings, in the midst of all things, accomplish great undertakings, activate the great vehicle of universal enlightenment, and enter into the ocean of enlightening techniques of the Buddha teaching. By means of extraordinary willpower, they illumine the practices carried out by enlightening beings with their knowledge and wisdom, and achieve skill in all of them. They fully accomplish enlightening beings' spiritual powers and miracles. They are able to care for and guard living beings, as do all the Buddhas of past, future, and present. They always arouse great compassion for all living beings, and they attain the unchanging truth of the realization of thusness. Just as when someone puts a clear crystal on a colored robe, the crystal assumes the color of the robe without losing its own nature. In the same way, great enlightening beings, perfecting knowledge and wisdom as the jewel of the mind, observe all knowledge and all appears clearly, yet they do not abandon the practices of enlightening beings. Why? Great enlightening beings undertake great vows to benefit all beings, to liberate all beings, to serve all Buddhas, to purify all worlds, to comfort all beings. They enter deeply into the ocean of truth, and to purify the realm of sentient beings they manifest great mastery, provide for sentient beings, illumine the world, and enter the boundless gate of teaching by phantom emanations, without backsliding or growing wearied. Just as space holds myriad worlds, be they in the process of becoming or subsisting, without aversion or weariness, without wearing out or perishing, without dissolving or breaking down, without changing or varying, without differentiation, not giving up its own nature, because the inherent nature of space is to be thus. In the same way, great enlightening beings establish infinite great vows to liberate all sentient beings, without their minds wearying. Just as infinite beings past, future, and present pass away into nirvana without its ever rejecting or wearying, because the essential purity of all phenomena is called nirvana. In the same way, Great enlightening beings appear in the world because they want to liberate all beings and enable them to be emancipated. How could they become wearied in mind? Just as universal knowledge, omniscience, can enable all enlightening beings of all times to be born in the family of Buddhas, and eventually enable them to attain supreme enlightenment without ever tiring, because omniscience is none other than the cosmos of realities and is not attached to anything at all. In the same way, great enlightening beings' minds abide equanimously in universal knowledge. How could they have any weariness of mind? These great enlightening beings have a lotus blossom that is as vast as the whole extent of the 10 directions, adorned with untold numbers of petals, jewels, and fragrances. Those untold numbers of jewels each also reflect all kinds of jewels, pure, exquisite, extremely fine, resting on the blossom, emanating light beams of many colors, illumining all worlds of the 10 directions without obstruction. Webs of pure gold cover it, while jewel chimes gently swaying produce subtle tones that bespeak the elements of omniscience. This great lotus blossom incorporates the pure adornments of those who realize thusness, produced by all foundations of goodness, with an auspicious sign as its emblem, manifested by spiritual power, with myriad infinities of pure qualities, perfected by the wondrous path of enlightening beings, flowing forth from the omniscient mind. The reflections of the Buddhas of the 10 directions appear in it, and the worlds gaze on it as on a monument of Buddha, and all beings who see it bow in respect. It is born of the true teaching of ability to comprehend illusion, and is actually beyond any worldly comparison. When an enlightening being sits on this blossom, the size of the enlightening being's body corresponds to the blossom. The miraculous empowerment of all Buddhas causes each pore of the enlightening being's body to emanate rays of light as numerous as atoms in untold billions of Buddhalands, each ray of light revealing jewels as numerous as atoms in untold billions of Buddhalands. Those jewels are all called treasury of universal light and are adorned with various colors and characteristics, made of infinite virtues. Nets of jewels and flowers cover them above, scattering billions of superb fragrances. The arrays of innumerable various colors and forms also manifest ornamental canopies of inconceivable arrays of jewels. Each jewel reflects pavilions as numerous as atoms in untold billions of Buddhalands, and each pavilion reveals as many lion thrones, each lion throne manifesting as many light beams, each light beam showing as many colors, each color showing as many orbs of light, each orb of light showing as many radiant jewel flowers, each flower showing as many pedestals. On each pedestal there appearing as many Buddhas, each Buddha displaying as many miracles, each miracle purifying as many congregations, with as many freedoms of Buddhahood appearing in each congregation, each freedom showing as many Buddha teachings, each Buddha teaching having as many scriptures, each scripture expounding as many doctrines, each doctrine having as many spheres of truth penetrated by adamantine knowledge, different words each explaining each sphere of truth, maturing as many realms of sentient beings as atoms in untold billions of Buddhalands, each realm having as many beings as atoms in untold billions of Buddhalands achieving peace in the Buddha teaching. Great enlightening beings in this concentration, causing infinite emanations of such miraculous scenes to appear, know they are all like mirages and are not obsessed by them or attached to them. They abide in the unimpeded realm of extremelessness, the unspeakable reality, inherent purity, the realm of reality, the true form, the nature of realization of thusness, which has no coming or going, which is not before or after, is infinitely profound, is realized by direct experience and spontaneously entered by knowledge and not understood from another. Their minds are free from confusion and discriminatory conceptualization. They are lauded by all Buddhas. They flow forth from the power of the Buddhas and enter into the realm of all Buddhas. They directly witness essential nature as it really is with pure eyes, and see everywhere with the eye of wisdom. They develop the enlightened eye and become bright lamps for the world. They course in the realm known to the eye of knowledge and are able to widely expound subtle truths. They develop the will for enlightenment and head for the highest humanity. They are not obstructed by any objects. They enter the seed nature of knowledge and produce all kinds of knowledge. They are detached from worldly things, yet they appear to live in the world, transforming beings through spiritual powers and taming them by appropriate means. They are skilled in all such matters. Their virtues, understanding, and will are all thoroughly pure, extremely refined, and thoroughly developed. Their knowledge and wisdom are vast as space, and they are adept at observing the realms of the sages. Their faith, practice, and willpower are firm and steadfast, immovable. Their virtues are inexhaustible, admired by the world. In the ocean of omniscience, the place of great enlightenment, the treasury watched by all Buddhas, they collect myriad sublime jewels and become great sages. Just like lotus blossoms, they are inherently pure and clean, a delight and benefit to all who see them. The light of their knowledge illumines everywhere, and they see infinite Buddhas and clarify all truths. Their actions are dispassionate and calm, and they are ultimately without impediment in realization of the teaching of Buddhas. By means of appropriate techniques, they always live by the virtuous action of enlightenment in which they are born. They embody the knowledge of enlightening beings and are leaders of enlightening beings, protected by all the Buddhas together. They attain the spiritual force of Buddhas and develop the spiritual body of Buddhas. Their mental powers are inconceivable. They are one-pointed on the objective realm, yet objectless. Their activity is far-reaching, signless, unimpeded, infinite as the cosmos. The enlightenment they realize is like space, boundless, without binding attachment. They work for the universal weal of all in the world, flowing from the foundations of goodness of the ocean of omniscience. They are able to comprehend infinite objective realms. They have perfected the practice of pure generosity, live by the heart of enlightening, purify the seed of enlightening beings, and are able accordingly to give birth to the enlightenment of the Buddhas. They are well versed in all the Buddha teachings and can employ them skillfully. They embody their subtle practices and achieve stable, enduring power. The autonomous spiritual powers of all Buddhas, which sentient beings can hardly hear of, the enlightening beings know entirely. They enter the gate of non-duality, abide in the formless truth, and though they have forever relinquished all forms, they are able to explain extensively all kinds of things according to the mentalities, inclinations, and understandings of sentient beings, pacifying and satisfying them. The cosmos is their body. They are free from discriminatory thinking. The sphere of their knowledge is inexhaustible. Their will is always powerful. Their mind is always equanimous. They see the extent of the virtues of all Buddhas. They know the differences and order of all ages. They expose all truths, live peacefully in all lands, beautify all Buddha lands, manifest the light of all true principles, and expound the teachings of all Buddhas of past, future, and present. They point out the dwelling places of the enlightening beings, serve as lamps illumining the world, produce all roots of goodness, eternally detach from the world, and are forever born where the Buddhas are. They acquire the knowledge and wisdom of Buddhas, which is supreme. They are in the care of all the Buddhas and have already entered the ranks of Buddhas of the future. They grow from association with good companions, and whatever they set their wills on bears fruit. They have great power and abide in lofty determination, and are able to explain whatever they hear. Also, to show the roots of goodness of hearing the teaching, they abide in the sphere of reality, their minds unobstructed in the midst of all things. They do not abandon their practices, but divorce discriminatory thought. Their minds have no stirring thoughts in the midst of all things. They acquire the illumination of knowledge and wisdom, and destroy the darkness of ignorance. They are able to clearly reflect all Buddha teachings. Not destroying the various realms of existence, they are born therein, and comprehend that all realms of existence fundamentally are inert. Their physical, verbal, and mental activities are all without extremes. Though they say all kinds of things by way of explanation in accord with local usage, they never destroy the truth which is beyond words. They enter deeply into the ocean of the enlightened, know that all things only have names, and have no bonds or attachments to objects. They understand that all things are empty, without existence. The practices they cultivate are born from the realm of reality. Like space, they are signless and formless. Entering deeply into the realm of reality, they explain everything, producing universal knowledge through a single object. They contemplate the stage of the 10 powers and cultivate it by knowledge. Knowledge is their bridge to omniscience. By the eye of knowledge they see things without obstruction and ably enter the various stages of enlightening. They know all kinds of principles, attain clear understanding of each and every facet of doctrine, and accomplish all their great undertakings. By this, great enlightening beings reveal the undifferentiated essence of all enlightened ones. This is the gate of unimpeded skill and means. This can produce all groups of enlightening beings. This state is only in the realm of concentration. This is able to plunge into omniscience. This is able to reveal all ways of access to concentration. This can enter unimpeded into all lands. This can tame all sentient beings. This can abide in the realm of no beings. This can show all Buddha teachings. This does not comprehend any objects. Though they teach and explain at all times, they are always free from arbitrary conceptions and discriminatory thought. Though they know all things are inert, yet they are able to demonstrate all actions. Though they know the Buddhas have no duality, yet they are able to reveal the Buddhas. Though they know there are no forms, yet they explain all forms. Though they know there is no sensation, yet they explain all sensations. Though they know there is no perception, yet they explain all perceptions. Though they know there is no disposition, yet they explain all dispositions. Though they know there is no consciousness, yet they explain all consciousnesses. They always reveal everything by means of the wheel of the teaching. Though they know phenomena have no difference, yet they explain their aspects of differentiation. Though they know phenomena have no origin or annihilation, yet they explain all characteristics of origination and annihilation. Though they know phenomena have no coarseness or subtlety, yet they explain the coarse and subtle aspects of phenomena. Though they know all phenomena have no superiority, mediocrity, or inferiority, yet they can explain what is best. Though they know phenomena cannot be explained in words, yet they can speak pure words. Though they know phenomena have no inside or outside, yet they explain all internal and external phenomena. Though they know phenomena cannot be comprehensively cognized, yet they explain various kinds of knowledge and contemplation. Though they know phenomena have no true reality, yet they expound a real path of emancipation. Though they know phenomena are ultimately inexhaustible, yet they can expound the exhausting of all taints. Though they know phenomena have no differences and no contradiction, yet they do not deny the differences among one another. Though they know things ultimately have no teacher, yet they always respect all teachers and those of experience. Though they know true understanding of things does not come from another, yet they always respect skillful guides. Though they know things are inoperative, yet they turn the wheel of the teaching. Though they know things have no origination, yet they point out causes and conditions. Though they know things have no precedent, yet they extensively explain the past. Though they know things have no aftermath, yet they extensively explain the future. Though they know things have no duration, yet they extensively explain the present. Though they know things have no creator, yet they explain the acts that form them. Though they know things have no causality, yet they explain the conglomerated causes. Though they know things have no comparison, yet they explain the ways of equality and inequality. Though they know things have no verbal explanation, yet they definitively explain the things of past, present, and future. Though they know things have no basis of support, yet they expound attainment of emancipation based on what is good. Though they know things have no body, yet they extensively explain the body of reality. Though they know the Buddhas of past, present, and future are boundless, yet they can explain how there is only one Buddha. Though they know things have no form, yet they can manifest various forms. Though they know things have no vision, yet they can expound many views. Though they know things have no specific marks, yet they can explain all kinds of specific marks. Though they know things have no objective sphere, yet they can extensively expound the spheres of knowledge. Though they know things have no differentiation, yet they explain the various differences and fruits of action. Though they know things have no escape, yet they explain pure practices for emancipation. Though they know things are fundamentally permanent, yet they explain all things in flux. Though they know things have no illumination, yet they always extensively explain means of illumination. When great enlightening beings enter the circle of knowledge of this immensely powerful concentration, they are then able to witness the truth of all Buddha teachings, able to proceed into the Buddha teachings, able to accomplish them, able to fulfill them, able to build them up, able to clarify them, able to live by them, able to comprehend them, in harmony with the inherent nature of all things. And yet these great enlightening beings do not entertain the idea that there are so many enlightening beings, so many principles of enlightening beings, so many ultimate ends of enlightening beings, so many illusory ultimate ends, so many fabricated ultimate ends, so many attainments of spiritual powers, so many attainments of knowledge, so many meditations, so many realizations, so many aims, so many realms. Why? Because the concentration of enlightening beings is thus in essence, is thus without bounds, is thus transcendent. This concentration has various spheres, various powers, various deep entries. That is to say, it enters untold gates of knowledge, it enters arrangements beyond discriminatory thought, it enters boundless excellent ways of transcendence. It enters countless meditation states. It enters untold hundreds of thousands of millions of far-reaching cognitions. It enters vision of boundless exalted treasuries of Buddha. It enters objective worlds ceaselessly. It enters into pure application of the aids to the path of enlightenment. It enters into great psychic powers of strong and keen faculties. It enters into objective worlds without hindrance to the mind. It enters into the eye that sees the equality of all Buddhas. It enters into the development of the high-minded practices of universal good. It enters into the state of the celestial body of subtle knowledge. It enters into explanation of the knowledge and wisdom of the enlightened. It enters into production of incalculable mystical projections. It enters into production of ways into the inexhaustible knowledge of all Buddhas. It enters into clarification of the autonomous knowledge of the universally good enlightening being. It enters into revelation of incomparable all-sided knowledge. It enters into universal awareness of all subtle realms in the cosmos. It enters into the light of all higher knowledge. It enters into universal revelation of all subtle realms in the cosmos. It enters into the reaches of all magical powers. It enters into the sphere of teachings of all intellectual powers. It enters into the body of knowledge omnipresent throughout the cosmos. It enters into accomplishment of the path of action extending everywhere. It enters into ability to remain in all different concentrations, and it enters into knowledge of the mind of all Buddhas. These great enlightening beings abide in the practice of universal good, and enter untold billions of concentrations in every successive instant, yet they do not see anything prior to the concentration of universal good and the adornments of the realm of Buddhahood. Why? Because they know all things are ultimately inexhaustible, because they know all Buddha lands are boundless, because they know all realms of sentient beings are inconceivable, because they know the past has no beginning, because they know the future has no end, because they know the present is boundless, comprehending all space and the whole cosmos, because they know the realm of all Buddhas is inconceivable, because they know the practices of enlightening beings are countless, because they know the realms explained by the intellectual powers of all Buddhas are unspeakably boundless, and because they know illusory mental objects are infinite. Just as a wishing jewel grants all wishes, satisfying endless seekers without losing its power, in the same way a great enlightening being, entering this concentration, knows the mind is like an illusion and produces all objects everywhere inexhaustibly. Why? The great enlightening being accomplishes the knowledge of unimpeded action of universal good and observes infinite extensive illusory realms, seeing them as like reflected images, without increase or decrease. Just as ordinary people individually give rise to mental states, past, present, and future, without bound, without cease, without end, the continuous flow and change of their mental states going on unbroken, inconceivably. In the same way, great enlightening beings entering this concentration of access to universal illusion have no bounds and are unfathomable. Why? Because of the infinite phenomena in the universally good enlightening being's door of access to universal illusion. Just as when the water spirits shower rain, the raindrops are like wheel hubs, without bound. The clouds are not exhausted, though they shower so much rain, this being the realm of non-striving of the water spirits. In the same way, great enlightening beings in this concentration enter the universally good enlightening being's door of concentration, door of knowledge, door of teaching, door of perception of Buddha, door of traveling everywhere, door of mental freedom, door of empowerment, door of mystical projection, door of spiritual powers, door of phantom emanations, door of the illusory quality of all things, door filled with untold numbers of enlightening beings, door of approach to Buddhas as numerous as atoms in untold Buddha lands, door of entry into the unspeakably vast network of illusions, door of knowledge of untold numbers of immense different Buddha lands, door of knowledge of untold numbers of worlds with substantial nature and without substantial nature, door of knowledge of the thoughts of untold numbers of sentient beings, door of knowledge of untold numbers of distinctions in time, door of knowledge of the becoming and disintegration of untold numbers of worlds, and door of knowledge of untold numbers of inverted and upright Buddha lands. They know all these as they really are in a single instant. When they enter in this way, there are no bounds, There is no end. They are not tired, not wearied. They do not stop, do not rest, do not withdraw, do not slip. In all things they do not dwell on untruth. Constantly meditating rightly, they do not become either oblivious or excited. They seek omniscience without ever retreating or giving up. They become lamps to light up the world in all Buddha lands. They operate untold numbers of cycles of the teaching. With sublime intelligence they question the enlightened, never reaching a point of exhaustion. They demonstrate the attainment of the Buddha way without bound. They pacify sentient beings, never giving up. They always diligently practice the undertakings of universal good, never ceasing. They manifest bodies of infinite forms, without end. Why? Just as fire burns unceasingly whenever the appropriate conditions are present, in the same way, great enlightening beings see the realms of sentient beings, the realms of reality, and the realms of worlds as boundless as space. In a single instant they are able to go visit as many Buddhas as atoms in untold Buddha lands. In the company of each Buddha enter untold different aspects of omniscience, cause untold beings to give up attachments for the sake of the way, and cultivate virtue and be ultimately purified, cause untold enlightening beings who have not yet attained certainty about the practice of the vows of universal good to attain certainty and to abide securely in the way of knowledge of universal good. By innumerable means enter untold different ages, becoming, subsisting, disintegrating, of past, present, and future, and in the different realms of those untold eons of becoming, subsistence, and disintegration, produce as many great vows of great compassion and pacify all sentient beings. What is the reason? These great enlightening beings, for the purpose of liberating all sentient beings, cultivate the practice of universal good, develop the knowledge of universal good, and fulfill the undertakings of universal good. Therefore, enlightening beings should diligently cultivate practice in such types of action, such perspectives, such powers, such greatness, such infinity, such inconceivability, such all-sided illumination, such presence with all Buddhas, such protection by all Buddhas, such consummation of past roots of goodness, such imperturbable concentration wherein the mind is unimpeded, getting rid of all burning afflictions, without wearying or backsliding, with steadfast will and courage, following the realm of concentration into the stage of inconceivable knowledge, not depending on words, not clinging to the world, not grasping phenomena, not producing discriminatory thoughts, not becoming attached to worldly things, not thinking about objects. In terms of knowledge of the teachings, they should just abide by them and not try to measure them. This refers to associating with the omniscient and understanding the enlightenment of the Buddhas, attaining the light of truth and shedding it on the foundations of goodness of all sentient beings, pulling sentient beings out of the realm of demons and enabling them to enter the realm of the Buddha teachings, causing them to not give up great aspirations, to earnestly examine the path of emancipation, to expand the sphere of purity, to accomplish the means of transcendence, to develop profound faith in all Buddhas. They should always look into the nature of all things without quitting even for a moment. They should know that their own bodies and the nature of things are universally equal. They should clearly understand the doings of the world and point out wisdom and means that accord with truth. They should always be energetic without lapsing. They should observe the paucity of roots of goodness in themselves and should strive to increase roots of goodness in others. They should themselves cultivate the path of universal knowledge. They should strive to expand the sphere of enlightening beings. They should gladly approach expert teachers. They should associate with fellow practitioners. They should not discriminate among Buddhas. They should not give up detachment from thought. They should always abide in the impartial realm of reality. They should know all states of mind and consciousness are illusory. They should know all events in the world are like dreams. They should know the appearance of the willpower of the Buddhas is like reflected images. They should know all great actions are like emanations. They should observe all phenomena as like magic tricks. They should know all things that are born and perish are like echoes. They should know all the Buddha lands they go to have no substantial nature. They should never tire of asking Buddhas for teaching. They should diligently carry on education to enlighten all beings, never abandoning them. They should unremittingly expound the teachings in a timely fashion in order to pacify all sentient beings. Great enlightening beings thus practice the deeds of universal good, thus fulfill the sphere of action of enlightening beings, thus master the way of emancipation, thus absorb and hold the teachings of the Buddhas of past, present, and future, thus investigate all aspects of knowledge, thus reflect on the unchanging truth, thus purify powerful determination, thus believe in all enlightened ones, thus know the immense power of Buddhas, thus make certain the unimpeded mind, thus take care of all living beings. When great enlightening beings enter this concentration of great knowledge and wisdom, wherein the universally good enlightening being abides, there appear before them as many Buddhas as atoms in untold Buddha lands from untold numbers of lands in the 10 directions, each Buddha having as many names as atoms in untold lands, each name also including untold numbers of Buddhas. These Buddhas give the enlightening beings the memory power of the enlightened, so they do not forget the realm of Buddhahood. They give them ultimate knowledge of all things, so they may enter omniscience. They give them definitive wisdom cognizant of the various meanings of all teachings, enabling them to absorb and hold all Buddha teachings and enter into them without impediment. They give them unexcelled enlightenment, so they can enter universal knowledge and open up their awareness of the cosmos of reality. They give them the ultimate wisdom of enlightening beings, enabling them to attain the light of all truths, to be free from darkness. They give them non-receding knowledge, so that they know appropriate and inappropriate timing and guide sentient beings with skill and means. They give them the unobstructed intellectual powers of enlightening beings, enabling them to understand boundless truths and explain them inexhaustibly. They give them the power of spiritual capacities and production of mystical projections, enabling them to manifest untold numbers of different bodies, with boundless forms and appearances, all variously different, to awaken sentient beings. They give them universal speech, enabling them to manifest untold numbers of different sounds and various languages to enlighten sentient beings. They give them power that is not wasted, to enable all sentient beings who see them or hear their teaching to achieve development and not waste the experience. Because great enlightening beings fulfill universally good practice in this way, they acquire the power of the enlightened, purify the path of emancipation, are imbued with universal knowledge, and by means of unimpeded intellectual powers, spiritual faculties, and mystical emanations, ultimately harmonize and pacify all sentient beings. Full of the spiritual force of enlightenment, they purify universally good practice, abide in the path of universal good, and operate the subtle cycles of teaching of all Buddhas forever and ever to pacify all living beings. Why? When these great enlightening beings accomplish the practices of enlightening beings guided by such lofty, great vows, they become teachers of all worlds, sums of truth for all worlds, moons of knowledge for all worlds. They become lofty polar mountains for all worlds, majestically standing out high, steadfast, immutable. They become shoreless oceans of knowledge for all worlds. They become bright lamps of right teaching for all worlds, illumining everywhere, boundlessly, continuously, uninterrupted. They reveal boundless pure virtues for all sentient beings, inducing them to live steadily based on virtuous qualities and foundations of goodness. They act in accord with universal knowledge, and their great vows are impartial. They cultivate the far-reaching practice of universal good and are always able to inspire countless beings. Persisting in untold numbers of concentrations of great efficacy, they manifest great freedom. These enlightening beings attain such knowledge, verify such principles, thoroughly abide by and clearly see such truths, acquire such spiritual powers, sojourn in such realms, manifest such mystical projections, produce such spiritual communications, always abide in great compassion, always help sentient beings, show sentient beings the true path of peace and serenity, set up the great banner of light of virtue and knowledge, experience inconceivable liberation, abide in the liberation of universal knowledge, reach the other shore of liberation of Buddhas, have learned and mastered the aspects of expedient means of inconceivable liberation, enter the doors of differentiation of the cosmos without confusion, freely roam in the untold numbers of concentrations of universal good, and abide in rapidly expanding knowledge, their minds and intellects unimpeded. Their minds always abide in 10 great metaphysical treasuries: remembering all Buddhas, remembering all Buddha teachings, great compassion to pacify all beings, knowledge to reveal inconceivable pure lands, certain understanding entering deeply into the realm of Buddhahood, enlightenment equal in all features in all Buddhas, past, present, and future, non-impediment and non-attachment, the signlessness of all things, the equal roots of goodness of all Buddhas past, present, and future, the guiding knowledge of the cosmic, non-discriminatory physical, verbal, and mental action of all Buddhas of past, present, and future, contemplation of all Buddhas of all times being born, leaving home, going to the site of enlightenment, attaining true awakening, turning the wheel of the teaching, and finally passing utterly away, all in the space of an instant. These 10 great metaphysical treasuries are immensely vast, without measure, incalculable, unthinkable, inexplicable. They are inexhaustible, difficult to bear, impossible for any and all worldly knowledge to expound. These great enlightening beings have already reached the transcendental consummation of the practices of universal good, and have witnessed the pure truth. Their willpower is immense. They teach sentient beings innumerable roots of goodness, and increase all the powers of enlightening beings. In every succeeding moment they fulfill all the virtues of enlightening beings, accomplish all practices of enlightening beings, attain the methods of mental command of all Buddhas, and absorb and hold the teachings of all Buddhas. Though they always abide in the reality of true thusness, yet they adapt to all conventional terms to show the ways to pacify and harmonize all sentient beings. Why? Because when great enlightening beings are in this concentration, they are naturally like this. By means of this concentration, great enlightening beings acquire the vast knowledge of all Buddhas. They gain the free intellectual powers to skillfully explain all great teachings. They attain the unhesitating expertise that is most excellent and pure in the world. They gain entry into knowledge of all concentrations. They master all enlightening beings' skillful techniques. They find the door of illumination of all truths. They reach the final consummation of the way to comfort all worldly beings. They know what is timely and what is not for all sentient beings. They illumine everywhere in the worlds of the 10 directions. They enable all living beings to attain higher knowledge. They are unexcelled teachers of all worlds. They persist in all virtues. They reveal pure concentration to all sentient beings and enable them to enter supreme knowledge. Why? When great enlightening beings cultivate practice in this way, they benefit living beings, so they increase great compassion, so they draw near to worthy associates, so they see all Buddhas, so they comprehend all truths, so they go to all lands, so they enter all regions, so they enter all worlds, so they realize the equality of all things, so they know the equality of all Buddhas, so they abide in the equanimity of universal knowledge. In this practice they carry out this kind of action, no other. They abide in the mind that is not complacent. They abide in the mind that is not distracted or confused. They abide in the mind that can concentrate on one point. They abide in the mind that diligently cultivates enlightenment. They abide in the certain mind. They abide in the non-changing mind. In this manner do they think, act, and reach the ultimate end. Great enlightening beings have no different speech or action. They speak and act thus. Why? Just as, for example, adamant is unbreakable and gets its name from that, never being apart from unbreakability, in the same way, great enlightening beings get their name from their various practical principles and are never apart from them. Just as gold gets its name from its beautiful color and is never apart from its beautiful color, so do great enlightening beings get their name from their virtuous acts and are never apart from good deeds. Just as the sun gets its name from its orb of light and is never apart from the orb of light, so do great enlightening beings get their name from the light of wisdom and are never apart from the light of wisdom. Just as the polar mountain wonderfully high gets its name from its 4 jewel peaks rising high over the ocean, never leaving its 4 peaks. In the same way, great enlightening beings get their name from their roots of goodness standing out loftily in the world, never giving up roots of goodness. Just as the ground gets its name from sustaining everything, never giving up its supportive ability, so do great enlightening beings get their name from liberating all, never leaving great compassion. Just as the ocean gets its name from taking in myriad waters, never rejecting water, so do great enlightening beings get their name from their great vows, never for a moment giving up the vow to liberate sentient beings. Just as a military leader gets his name from ability to learn and practice methods of battle, never abandoning this ability, so do great enlightening beings get their name from being able to learn and practice such concentration until they accomplish omniscience, never abandoning this practice. Just as a world ruler commands the continents, always diligently protecting all living beings so they will always be happy and will not suffer unnatural death, so do great enlightening beings, entering such great concentrations, always strive to transform and liberate all sentient beings until they effect their ultimate purification. Just as seeds planted in the ground can eventually grow stalks and leaves, so great enlightening beings cultivating the practice of universal good can cause all sentient beings' good qualities to grow. Just as great clouds shower rain during the hot months of the summer and cause all seeds to grow, similarly great enlightening beings, entering such great concentrations, cultivating enlightening practice, shower the rain of the great teaching, which can cause all sentient beings to be ultimately purified, ultimately serene, ultimately peaceful, ultimately transcendent, ultimately happy, ultimately free from doubt. They are the ultimate field of blessings for sentient beings, enabling their actions to become purified, enabling them all to abide in the path of non-regression, enabling them alike to attain omniscience. enabling them to attain emancipation from the world, enabling them all to attain ultimate knowledge, enabling them all to attain the ultimate truth of the enlightened ones, placing all sentient beings in the realm of universal knowledge. Why? When enlightening beings accomplish this teaching, their knowledge and wisdom are clear and comprehensive. They enter the door to the cosmos of reality and are able to purify the inconceivably infinite practices of enlightening beings. That is to say, they are able to purify all knowledge because they seek omniscience. They are able to purify sentient beings because they cause them to be pacified. They are able to purify lands because of constant dedication. They are able to purify things because of perfect knowledge. They are able to purify fearlessness because they have no timidity. They are able to purify unhindered intellect because they teach skillfully. They are able to purify mental command because they have mastered all the teachings. They are able to purify the practice of association because they see all Buddhas appearing in the world. Great enlightening beings in this concentration attain untold myriads of such pure qualities because they gain mastery of such realms of concentration, because they are empowered by all Buddhas, because they are borne along by the power of their own roots of goodness, because they enter the great magnificent force of the stage of knowledge and wisdom, because of the strength of guidance of worthy associates, because of crushing the power of all demons, because of the pure power of roots of goodness and proportion, because of the power of great vows, because of the power of the full development of the roots of goodness they have planted, and because of the unopposed power of inexhaustible virtue transcending all worlds. Great enlightening beings in this concentration attain 10 things that are the same as in all Buddhas past, future, and present. They acquire the same variegated arrays of marks and refinements as all Buddhas. They are able to emanate networks of pure light, the same as all Buddhas. They perform miracles and displays of power to attune and pacify sentient beings, the same as all Buddhas. Their boundless physical bodies and universal voices are the same as those of all Buddhas. They manifest pure Buddha lands according to the actions of sentient beings, the same as all Buddhas. They are able to remember the speech of all sentient beings, the same as all Buddhas. With inexhaustible intellectual powers, they teach in accord with the mentalities of sentient beings, developing wisdom in them, the same as all Buddhas. Their lions roar as fearless as they enlighten living beings by innumerable teachings, the same as all Buddhas. By great spiritual power they enter past, present, and future in a single instant, the same as all Buddhas. They are able to show all sentient beings the adornments of the Buddhas, the powers of the Buddhas, and the states of the Buddhas, the same as all Buddhas. Then the enlightening being Universal I said to the enlightening being universally good, "If great enlightening beings attain such things the same as the Buddhas, why are they not called Buddha? Why are they not called 10-powered? Why are they not called omniscient? Why are they not called those enlightened in all things? Why can they not be called Universal I? Why are they not called unhindered seers in all realms? Why are they not called aware of all things? Why are they not called those who abide in the state of non-duality with the Buddhas of past, present, and future? Why are they not called those who dwell in absolute reality? Why do they still carry out the practical undertakings of universal good without rest? Why can they not find the ultimate end of the cosmos and give up the path of enlightening beings?" Universally good said to Universal I, "Very good, offspring of Buddha. As you say, if these great enlightening beings are the same as all Buddhas, why are they not called Buddha and so on? And why can they not give up the path of enlightening beings?" These great enlightening beings, having already ably practiced the various activities and undertakings of all enlightening beings of past, future, and present worlds, and entered the realm of knowledge, are then called Buddha. Unceasingly cultivating the enlightening practices cultivated by the Buddhas, they are called enlightening beings. Having completely entered the powers of the enlightened, they are called ten-powered. Ceaselessly carrying out the activities of universal good after having attained the 10 powers, they are called enlightening beings. Knowing all truths and being able to explain them, they are called omniscient. Though able to explain all truths, yet never ceasing to think about each truth with versatility, they are called enlightening beings. Knowing all things are non-dual, they are called enlightened in all things. Skillfully examining the path of differentiation of all things, dual and non-dual, ceaselessly developing further and further, they are called enlightening beings. Able to clearly see the realm of the universal I, they are called universal I. Though able to witness the realm of the universal I, ceaselessly developing in every moment, they are called enlightening beings. Able to perceive all things without any obscurity or barrier, they are called unimpeded seers. Always diligently remembering the unimpeded seers, they are called enlightening beings. Having attained the eye of knowledge of all Buddhas, they are called aware of all things. Observing the Buddha's correctly awakened eye of knowledge without slacking, they are called enlightening beings. Abiding in the abode of Buddhas, not other than Buddhas, they are called those who abide in a state of non-duality with the Buddhas. Cultivating various knowledges in the care of the Buddhas, they are called enlightening beings. Always observing the limit of reality of all worlds, they are called those who dwell in absolute reality. Though always observing absolute reality of all things, yet neither entering it experientially by extinction nor abandoning it, they are called enlightening beings. Not coming, not going, without sameness or difference, all such distinctions having ceased forever. Such are called those who have set their undertakings to rest. Extensively cultivating fulfillment without turning back, they are called those who have not ceased the undertakings of universal good. Perfectly knowing the cosmos has no bounds and all things are one form, which is formless, this is called reaching the ultimate end of the cosmos and giving up the way of enlightening beings. Though knowing the cosmos has no bounds, yet knowing all various different forms, evolving a mind of great compassion and liberating beings forever and ever without wearying, this is called the universally good enlightening being. It is like the case of the king of elephants, who lives in a jewel cave in a gold mountain. The cave has jewel railings all around, jewel trees in rows, gold nets covering above. The elephant's body is pure white, like jade or snow, and sports gold banners. It is ornamented with gold, and a jewel net covers its trunk, with jewel bells hanging down. Its limbs are fully developed, and it has 6 tusks. It is dignified and handsome, pleasing to all who see it. It is well trained and docile. If the Emperor of Gods wants to go somewhere, the elephant immediately knows his intention and disappears from the jewel cave to appear in heaven before the Emperor of Gods. By magical powers, it transforms its appearance in various ways, causing its body to have 33 heads, magically producing 7 tusks on each head, magically producing 7 lakes on each tusk, with 7 lotus blossoms in each lake, with 7 nymphs on each blossom, simultaneously playing 100,000 celestial melodies. At this point, the Emperor of Gods mounts this bejeweled elephant and proceeds from the unsurpassable palace to the flower garden, which is filled with white lotuses. When the Emperor of Gods gets to the flower garden, He dismounts from the elephant and enters a palace arrayed with all jewels. Attended by countless nymphs, he enjoys their singing and playing. At that point, the Elephant King again magically conceals his elephant form and appears as a god, having a good time in the lotus garden along with the other gods and the nymphs. His physical features, aura, clothing, comportment, speech, and looks being just like the other gods, indistinguishable from them, so that it is impossible to tell whether it is the elephant or a god, so similar are they. That Elephant King, in its jewel cave in the Gold Mountain, without any transformation, goes to heaven to make offerings to the Emperor of Gods, produces various enjoyable things, and experiences celestial pleasures no different from the gods. Similarly, for great enlightening beings, cultivation of the practice of the vows and concentrations of the universally good enlightening being are their ornaments of jewels. The 7 limbs of enlightenment are the enlightening beings' bodies. The lights they emanate are nets. They set up the banner of the great teaching, ring the bells of the great teaching. Great compassion is their cave. Steadfast great vows are their tusks. Knowing and wise, fearless as lions, their heads are wrapped with the turban of truth. They reveal mysteries and reach the other shore of the practice of vows of enlightening beings. Wanting to sit on the seat of enlightenment, achieve universal knowledge, and attain perfect enlightenment, they develop and expand the great undertakings of universal good without retreating, without resting, without stopping, without giving up great compassion, energetically liberating suffering sentient beings forever and ever, not giving up the path of universal good, actualizing perfect enlightenment. They manifest untold numbers of doors to attainment of true awareness, reveal untold cycles of teaching, manifest untold doors of profound determination, and in untold vast lands show the door of manifestation of nirvana. They appear to live in untold different worlds cultivating the practice of universal good. They manifest untold Buddhas attaining perfect enlightenment under enlightenment trees in untold lands, with untold congregations of enlightening beings drawing near and encircling them, sometimes attaining true enlightenment after cultivating universally good practice for an instant, or for a moment, or for an hour, or for a day, or for a fortnight, or for a month, or for a year, or for countless years, or for an eon, and so on up to attaining true enlightenment after untold eons of cultivating universally good practice. Also, they are leaders in all Buddha lands, approaching the Buddhas, paying respects to them and presenting offerings to them and soliciting teaching. They examine the realm of illusion and purify enlightening beings' infinite practices, infinite knowledges, various miracles, various powers, various kinds of wisdom, various states, various psychic faculties, various freedoms, various liberations, various understandings, and various methods of teaching and training. The great enlightening beings' original bodies do not perish or vanish, but by the power of action and will they appear transfigured in these ways. Why? Because they want to pacify all sentient beings by the free spiritual power of universal good, to enable untold numbers of sentient beings to attain purity, to cause them to forever cut off the cycle of birth and death, to purify and magnify the worlds, always to see all Buddhas, to enter deeply into the stream of all Buddha teachings, to remember the lineage of Buddhas of past, present, and future, to remember the teachings and the reality of all Buddhas of the 10 directions, to cultivate all practices of enlightening beings to fulfillment, to enter the stream of universal good and be able to realize omniscience independently. You should observe these great enlightening beings, not giving up the practice of universal good, not stopping the path of enlightening beings, seeing all Buddhas, realizing all knowledge, freely employing the elements of omniscience. Just as the elephant king goes to heaven without leaving its elephant body, is ridden by a god, experiences celestial bliss, romps in celestial play, serves the Lord of the gods, and sports with the celestial nymphs the same as the gods, no different. In the same way, great enlightening beings, not giving up the practices of the great vehicle of universal goodness, not retreating from their vows, attain the freedom of Buddha, one imbued with universal knowledge, experience the liberation of Buddhas, achieve thorough purity without hindrance or obstruction, have no attachments to any worlds, have no discriminatory concepts about the Buddha teaching. Though they know all things are equal and non-dual, yet they always clearly see all Buddha lands. Though they are already equal to the Buddhas of past, present, and future, yet they continue to cultivate the conduct of enlightening beings. Great enlightening beings live by this great principle of the undertaking of universal good. Know that these people's minds are pure. This is the great knowledge of the superior mind of the great concentration of the unimpeded wheel, the 10th concentration of great enlightening beings. These are the 10 great spheres of concentration practiced by the universally good enlightening being, in which great enlightening beings abide.